Welcome to the Mindset Mutiny Podcast. I am your host, Mike Ivanov. Join me as we challenge the status quo, break free from self-imposed limits, and redefine what's possible. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4. Super pumped to share this message with you all. This is something that is very close to my heart and something that I have had to deal with for quite a long time, but it is the unlock for moving forward. So listen closely. And understand that hearing this once won't be enough. You need to listen to these episodes multiple times. Your mind isn't going to let these words in easily. It'll fight you because deep down it knows. Accepting this message means everything will have to change. The brain is wired for comfort, for safety. It'll cling to the familiar, even if it's holding you back. That's why you have to hear this over and over. Once isn't enough. You need to beat it into your mind until there's no denying it, until you have no choice but to act. So set this on repeat, because one listen won't change you, but relentless repetition, that's how you break the old you and build the one who's finally ready to rise. So today, we're talking about something that'll separate the real from the fake, the weak from the relentless. We're talking about accountability. And if you're not ready to take a hard look at yourself, if you're here for comfort, you may as well hit pause right now. I will offer you a warning up front. This is not a place for excuses or weakness. Let's get something straight. If you've listened this far, you know what we're here to do. We've broken down complacency, smashed self-limiting beliefs, and burned self-doubt to the ground. But without accountability, none of that sticks. Without accountability, all that progress crumbles. This is the backbone. Without it, you're just floating along, talking big and doing nothing. And I'll tell you right here, I love accountability. Why? Because it forces you to trust yourself like nothing else can. The second you start owning every choice, every outcome, that quiet anxiety you've been hiding behind starts to die. You realize there's nowhere left to run, no one else to count on, just you staring back in the mirror. No one to blame, no excuses to lean on. That's where real strength begins. Right there, in that brutal, unfiltered honesty. And here's the truth. If you can face that mirror without flinching, there's nothing in this world that can break you. But let's start with a reality check. If you're not where you want to be, it's nobody's fault but yours. It's hard to hear, isn't it? I've been there. Facing that truth was fucking brutal. It was lonely, and it was painful. It made me sick to my stomach with anxiety. But here it is again. If you're not where you want to be, it's nobody's fault but yours. Brutal, right? Absolutely. But it's the truth. So ask yourself, do you want me to lie to you to make you feel better? Or are you ready to face it and get some real results? Because here's the thing. Most people can't handle that kind of truth. Most people turn away, make excuses, keep hiding. But if you're here listening to this, it means you're ready to be uncommon. This is the moment you decide to stand out, to push past what's easy and to become something rare. Someone who faces the truth and does what is required. Accountability means taking ownership of every damn moment, every decision, every failure, every success. When you strip it down, accountability is like staring into a mirror that doesn't lie. It shows you every place you've ever fallen short, every choice you've avoided, every excuse you've let slip. Question is, do you have the guts to look? Because that mirror is unforgiving. It forces you to see who you really are without the filter, without the rationalizations. Can you handle that? Or would you rather keep hiding, keep pretending, and stay exactly where you are? You can talk about your dreams, you can write down your goals, you can visualize success until your head explodes. But none of that means a fucking thing if you're not willing to own your actions. Do you think anybody successful got there by sitting around making excuses? No chance. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't blame circumstances. They took responsibility for every single step. That's why accountability is so powerful. It forces you to trust yourself at the deepest level. When you're the only one you can count on, you either rise to the occasion or you fall flat. And if you fall, there's no one else to blame. No one to soften the blow. It's just you, standing alone, knowing that every outcome is yours to own. That's what real control is. Embracing the fact that everything, good or bad, is on you. Self-reflection. It's not some fluffy concept. It's a weapon. It's a blade you sharpen every day. You sharpen it by cutting through the bullshit you see yourself as you really are. Here's the hard truth. People love to lie to themselves during self-reflection. We're so damn good at it. We can even convince ourselves that we have no issues. We tell ourselves we're doing enough, that we're fine just the way we are. And we believe it so deeply that we don't just hide from our weaknesses, we defend them. Here's the dangerous part. The moment someone challenges you to step up, to make real changes, to become better, you get defensive. You get angry, resentful. Why? Because it threatens the cozy little lies you've been telling yourself. The lies you've let keep you soft, complacent, and far from the person you could be. I'm telling you right now, you've got to be aware of that. You've got to be aware that it's going to happen. You've got to know that when you start digging in, these lies will be there, ready to protect your ego at any cost. So when you sit down to reflect, don't fall for it. Don't buy the lies. Self-reflection requires brutal honesty. You need to see yourself for what others see. You're really good at hiding things from yourself. Look at the parts of you that are holding you back, the excuses, the half-assed efforts, the parts you'd rather ignore. Those are the weaknesses dragging you down. Face them, call them out, and do not flinch. That's the level of honesty that builds accountability, the level that makes you unbreakable. That's how you start becoming something more than average. If you're still holding on to excuses, I've got to be absolutely crystal clear. They won't save you. Excuses are like little leeches. They'll drain you of all your potential, bit by bit, day by day. You start with one excuse and then another, and before you know it, you're paralyzed. Telling yourself the same lies that have kept you weak and small for so long. Excuses will keep you soft. They'll keep you comfortable. And worst of all, they'll keep you from ever becoming the person you could be. Every excuse you make is just another chain binding you to mediocrity. So what are excuses, really? They're nothing but permission slips you write yourself to stay exactly where you are. To avoid the work. To dodge the pain of growth. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's just not the right time. I hear that shit all the fucking time. And you know what? Those excuses are a trap. They're for people who'd rather stay hidden in the shadows than step out into the light and face the fire. If that's what you want, if you want to stay soft and safe, then keep making excuses. But if you're here, if you're listening to this, then I'm betting you want more than that. I'm betting you're done with the hiding. Every time you kill an excuse, every time you refuse to let yourself off the hook, you're building something invaluable. You are building trust, trust in yourself. You're proving to yourself that you can handle the hard things, that you can push beyond comfort and step into challenge. And that trust, it's everything. It's the foundation that lets you wake up each day without the weight of self-doubt pressing down on you, without the poison of excuses eating away at your potential. When you start cutting out excuses, you're telling yourself that you're capable, that you're accountable, that there's no one else to let down but yourself. And here's the truth. There is no deeper freedom, no stronger power than knowing you don't need an excuse because you're ready to own every result. That's the kind of strength that makes you unstoppable, that makes you dangerous to everything that tries to hold you back. So stop giving yourself permission to stay small. Stop handing yourself reasons to avoid the grind. Look at every excuse you've been making and destroy it one by one. When you do, you're not just proving to yourself that you're capable. You're proving that you're relentless. And that's what separates the ones who dream from the ones who actually do. I got to be completely real with you. Absolutely as transparent as I can be. Accountability isn't about your intentions. No one gives a fuck about what you intended to do. It's not about what you meant to accomplish. It's about what you actually did. Sorry. That's what people care about. The evidence, the results, the action, not the intention, not the plan. Do you seriously think anyone cares about what you meant to do? Nobody cares about your excuses. They're a waste of time. It's okay. That's just fucking real. And if that gets under your skin, I need you to hear this. And I need you to hear it with all the honesty I can give you. You are someone who makes excuses. Probably a shitload of them. I know this because I used to feel that exact same way when people called me out. It used to get under my skin too. Until one day it didn't. That was the day everything changed. That was the day I decided there'd be no more excuses. I knew that if I wanted to live this way, I had to rewire my brain, kill my ego, and be so fucking honest with myself that it almost didn't even feel real. I had to face myself, raw and unfiltered in a way that most people never do. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It was fucking brutal. It was painful, and it cut deeper than anything else ever. But my mind decided that it didn't matter how bad it hurt. I made it understand one thing, that the pain of staying the same would be 1,000 times worse. So that's the day accountability took over. And it changed my fucking life. When you get to that level, you realize you hold all the power. You're the one driving everything forward. No excuses, no lies, just that unfiltered truth. It's raw and it's real. People don't care about what you meant to do. They care about what you actually did. Results are the only thing that matter. Remember that. Did you show up? Did you hit the goal? Or did you just talk a big game and expect a pat on the back just for trying? Intentions are cheap. Results are everything. You choose to live with that kind of honesty, and you become unstoppable. Intentions are for fucking dreamers. Results are for those who actually make shit happen. And here's the best part. Results don't lie. Results don't give a damn about your good day or your bad day. They just are. And the only way to get results that you want is to be relentless about holding yourself accountable every step of the way. When you take accountability and look at results instead of the excuses, you build unshakable self-trust. You know you've got the discipline, the grit, and the backbone to get it done. There's no need for anxiety, no place for fear, because you take control and you own everything that comes your way. Here's what you don't get yet. When you start taking accountability, some fucking ownership, everything in your life changes. Your work changes. Your relationships change. Your physical body changes. It's a fucking transformation. People will look at you differently. Why? Because people want to be around those who take accountability. They trust it. They respect it. They are drawn to it. Accountability is a magnetic force because it's so fucking rare. When you decide to dig in and start accepting accountability, you stop being a passenger in your own life. You become the driver. You stop waiting for people to hand you success, for circumstances to align perfectly. You make things happen. And that energy, it's contagious. People see you stepping up and they want a piece of it. They respect the hell out of someone who doesn't run from responsibility. And the best part, you're going to see the change in yourself. You'll notice your confidence will grow. Your body will get stronger. Your mind will get sharper. Accountability doesn't just improve your life. It transforms it. It molds you into someone unrecognizable, someone powerful, someone who commands respect. It's no longer just about reaching goals. It's about redefining who you are. So how do you build relentless accountability? It starts with discipline, plain and simple. You set a standard and then you hold the line, no matter what. You don't let yourself off the hook. You don't wait for someone else to push you. You push yourself. Discipline is the backbone of accountability. When things get tough, discipline is what keeps us from falling back on excuses. Discipline is what pushes you out of bed when the rest of the world is sleeping. It's what gets you to the gym. It's what makes you show up day after day, even when it hurts, even when you're tired, even when you're at your breaking point. And let me tell you something. Discipline is not comfortable. It's not supposed to be. It's a daily grind, a relentless pursuit. You can't expect to achieve greatness if you're not willing to pay the price. And discipline is that price. It is the currency of success. Accountability forces you to live in a place most people run from. That place, it's discomfort. Most people rather stay warm and cozy in their comfort zone, making excuses, living half lives, hiding from the work. But if you're serious about self-growth, if you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself, you've got to thrive in discomfort. Discomfort isn't your enemy. It's the proving ground. Every time you push yourself past comfort, you're telling yourself, I can handle this. You're training yourself to get stronger, building the mental calluses that let you push harder, endure more, and get closer to your goals. And that's what relentless accountability is. It's forcing yourself to grow even when your mind is screaming, begging for a way out. Even when every muscle, every ounce of your being wants to tap out and quit, you don't quit. Relentless accountability is not for the weak. It's a brutal path that will break you long before it builds you. It will test every excuse, every weakness, every fear that you have. And every time you choose discomfort over ease, every time you step up instead of stepping back, you're proving that you're not the average person. that you don't need comfort or applause to keep going. You don't need anyone's permission to succeed. You become a weapon forged in fire, untouchable. This isn't just about getting better. This is about becoming someone you don't even recognize. A version of you who's unstoppable, who's burned away every weakness, every excuse, every shred of self-doubt. When you live in that space, you're rewriting your own reality. You're building a life that most people can't even imagine. So ask yourself, are you ready to choose discomfort every single day? Or are you going to let the person you could have been die in the comfort zone? This is not a game. It's time to step up or step back. You can keep lying to yourself, keep hiding, keep running, or you can stand up and own your life and show the world who you really are. If you don't choose accountability, you're choosing mediocrity. So here it is, plain and simple. You either rise or you die right where you stand. No middle ground, no second chances. The choice is yours. But remember, only one of those paths leads to who you're meant to be.